Hello, my beloved family. Today I want to talk to you about soul union, my path with it, and what I think is happening for all of us right now with our souls and our connection to the depth of who we are and how we truly need to connect to the depth of who we are. And right now, I think that being in union with our soul is one of the most important things, and that's the human, integrating the soul into this human awareness, the human experience. For some time now I've been speaking about this and how, the journey onto ascension and feeling like I was going to evolve, and many of us were going to be evolving so much so that we would perhaps create some alternative reality. But the truth is that we just need to etch and imprint the codes of the divine, the beloved, into everyday life, and allow the mundane, even existence of our everyday life to be coated with this beautiful love and sacred offering of our soul essence. Because that's where really the magic happens, and it doesn't sound so exciting as meeting some beautiful divine partnership and being in this incredible union with them and being on these beautiful missions and meeting all these galactic beings and all these different things. Yeah, that's beautiful, and it does sound beautiful, but you know what? It's so beautiful to live in this world, to be able to look into someone on the street and be able to see the love that they truly are, even if they don't see it for themselves, to be able to meet people with so much love and respect, even if you don't meet eye to eye on the same things and experience the same reality, but still be able to uphold that truth within yourself of who you truly are, and live from that place, live from that heart space, because really we're meant to just be living here from the heart, expressing from the heart and giving that to other beings. And that doesn't always look perfect. It's not polished as a lot of these follower Instagrammy types want to portray. It's about being true to yourself and clearing all those layers away so that you can be in that center of your heart more fully, more present in everyday life. And so soul union is about the union within. It is about feeling like every single cell of your body is being made love to by creation, by a life force. And you just ooze that and allow that energy to pour out into the world and into every experience that you meet. I've been into these different places and experiences lately where it's not full of love. It's not full of connection and presence with who they are. There are a lot of people that I've been meeting that are very disconnected and very out of alignment, and have probably never even thought about themselves as a soul. And yet I felt like my heart and my soul just needed to be there, be in that place, in that presence. No judgment. It just is. It's just about being in that witness, to see them and say, you know what, I still feel you as a soul. I still feel you as a part of creation. And loving them from that place, loving everyone from that place. And it's actually, this whole union thing is also a lot easier than it can be made out to be. It's like you don't actually need a special diet. You don't need to be doing certain practices to get there. You don't need to be doing anything, because you already are. Everything already is, and it's only about you coming into right relationship with that, accepting that you are loved, accepting that you are the divine, having this human experience, and that all those parts that don't feel divine, or you don't get a sense of that through some of the experiences that you've had in the life, but still knowing that that's what you are. Yeah? And loving that part of yourself through it all, and accepting, okay, there are parts of me in my journey where I didn't act from that place, and I didn't have that awareness, and that's okay. I learn, I grow, and I evolve. And it's not to dismiss, because I can imagine some people right now, they're gonna go, oh, I'm gonna turn this off, she's telling me to just do nothing. I'm not saying that at all either, because the truth is, those things will make you feel better. They will make you feel good. If you have a really great spiritual practice where you meditate and you connect, you are going to feel more connected through that practice, because that's what you're doing. That is your intention. And that is really the key, is here is intention. It is the point of awareness that you choose to put yourself into. And everything that you do, if you choose to act from that place, how will it actually be? Will it be a little bit different than if you did it from an unconscious place? If you speak from a particular place, are you speaking from one place in one social dynamic to another? You know, are you still holding that resonance from your meditation to, you know, when you go to work, when you go and interact with certain people who maybe you don't like, or people that you find frustrating or difficult to be around? Because honestly, I can see sometimes we can go through these paths of doing all of the practices, doing all the meditation, and yet once we're actually in this world, it's not always being upheld, that still vibration. So how can we bring that energy more fully into the present, into this life? That is when you're going to be more in right relationship with your soul essence in every moment, and noticing when the soul resonance is expressing itself and when it isn't. And that's why I have actually released a soul practice, and it is the voice of the heart actually, that is a somatic practice, so that you can become more attuned to those parts. Because when we become more fully aware, and when you feel fully present with how that is interacting with our everyday life, that's what's going to create the reality that is from that loving place, that is from that presence. And when it isn't, we can just be more accepting and loving from it, rather than trying to rip it apart and destroy it, or judge it and think that it shouldn't be there. Because a lot of, I think, what has happened even on this planet right now, and why we're so disconnected, is because there has been so much shaming and so much like anger and aggression towards different people, different cultures, different religions, different ways of being in life, that separation then doesn't allow us to meet each other in the heart anymore. Whereas if we could meet in the heart, what a different experience we could have towards our differences. How would we interact with the differences in everyday life? Because they exist, they're here, but it's how we choose to react and interact with those. So if you can speak and experience these things from your heart, I would like to think that this would be a very different outcome. And if that is something that you are wanting to explore, then below, drop down, try the voice of the heart practice. It's such a beautiful practice. And tell me, do you feel more in alignment with your soul in everyday life? Is that the union you're cultivating right now? Or are you cultivating a life that is striving for something outside of yourself? Because I think when we've really cultivated that loving union within, like we feel like creation and the beloved is making love in our body, in our cells, in our being, we are very, very different in how we interact with our relationships with people. And it doesn't become like we have to have it a certain way. These people need to show up in a certain way for us, or we need to show up in a certain way for them. Again, it becomes the isness, it becomes the oneness, it becomes this divine, symbiotic relationship where everything ebbs and flows through the heart. And those interactions will align or they won't align. And we can let it go because we're not looking for those things to be the thing that fills that heart. Our soul has already filled our heart. So how can these things, these relationships, when I say things, I'm kind of talking about more materialistic stuff. Maybe sometimes we use to fill the void where the heart isn't full of love in our soul. So fill the heart with the soul. Fill the cup with your own heavenly vibration, your own life force. When you're so full of that, everything becomes unconditional. And so those relationships can be very different. And I invite you to explore that. So we don't need to grab and try and create outside. We just need to cultivate within. Let the heart guide the way.